Welcome to Disability UK. I'm Joy, and today I have a lovely 60-minute seated slow flow practice for you, which includes options for those of us who are ambulatory wheelchair users and prefer to use a chair, and options for those who'd like to join this practice from their wheelchair today. All you'll need is your chair and 2 blocks. Let's get started. To start this gentle, slow flow seated practice, I invite you to come to the edge of your seat, whether that's a chair, a wheelchair, wherever you're doing your practice this evening. Take a moment to get comfortable, to get settled, and if it feels comfortable for you to do so, I invite you to close your eyes, or alternately, you can stare gently ahead kind of with an unfocused gaze. Take a moment and feel your feet pressing into your mat. Maybe lift your toes up off the mat and then try and place them down one at a time. You might try scrunching your toes and then widening them out. Maybe shifting your weight side to side. Whatever feels right for you as we get ready to start our practice. Next, bring your attention to your sits bones. Maybe bring your hands to your hips and feel your sits bones on your seat. You might try hinging forward, see what that feels like, hinging back, and then coming to a nice neutral point where you feel your weight evenly distributed between those sits bones. And you have a sense of ease in sitting upright. So we're not statue strict straight, and we're not schlumping forward, but we've got that nice middle ground of sitting up with that ease. Next, bring your attention to your shoulders. Shoulders are aligned over your pelvis. Nice and tall, without overdoing it, without a lot of effort. And then bringing your attention to your head and neck. Allow your chin to soften down towards your chest, which should bring a sense of lengthening to the back of the neck here. So it's just a real easeful seated posture. Hands can rest on your thighs or down by your side. And maybe you find stillness in this posture. Or maybe you do these little micro movements, shifting your weight back and forth, maybe rotating your hips, feeling into the edges of your body today. So you choose what works best for you as we take these last few moments to get centered and grounded for our practice. If your eyes are closed, I invite you to open them. If your gaze was unfocused, bring some focused attention back to this space. And let's start with a very gentle, segmented spinal roll. Starting from the tailbone, tucking the tailbone, and moving up the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, rounding first through the low back, getting into the mid back, the neck, taking any micro movements that you need. And then very slowly, starting again at the tailbone, coming in to uncurl the spine until we're in that very last position that we were in with that nice easy seat. So we're not extending so far as to create rigidity. It's just coming up to a nice easeful seat. So let's do that again. Take it at your own pace, curling in, starting with the tailbone. Moving one vertebrae at a time. When you're ready, reversing, starting at the tailbone, untucking, curling back up, one vertebrae at a time. Lovely. Next, we're going to take our blocks and place them just on either side of our feet. Alternately, if the blocks are too low, you can always support your upper body on your thigh for this next posture. So what we'll do is just bring the right leg forward. Heel is going to press into the floor and toes pointed to the ceiling, micro bend in that knee. And for me today, I'm going to start this at hinging forward, using my hands on my thigh for support. A bit of a modified half split here. In switching our legs here, we're going to actually drag the right heel back, really getting into that back body, working the muscles in the back of the leg, and then switch sides. Left heel comes forward, foot nice and flexed, small bend in the knee, and hinging forward at the hips. Taking your time. And again, we're going to drag that left heel, working the muscles in the back of the left leg. Very nice. Let's do that again. So right leg comes forward, And this time you can stay up, supporting your hands on your thigh, or if it feels right, take a peek, see what it feels like to come down onto your blocks. Maybe point and flex the foot if that feels nice. Coming back out of that, dragging the right heel as you come up to that easeful seat, and then left legs turn. Again, pressing down through the heel. Hinging forward at the hips, using the blocks if you need them. Maybe point and flex the foot. Good. And then just let yourself ease into this lovely stretch. And then as you come up again, dragging that left heel. Very nice. We're going to do some more warming up of the back body. And in this next move, I'm just going to ask you to squeeze your bum, your tush, and then release. And this is a nice, slow, controlled movement. It's almost like you're going centimeter by centimeter, bit by bit, squeezing together, and then releasing very slowly. Lovely. Let's do that a few more times. Nice and controlled. Thinking again about that nice easeful posture where we aren't so rigid, we've got some flexibility, but we're also not totally slumped over. One more. And relax. Lovely. You can give your legs a rub, a little pound, whatever feels nice for you. All right, we're going to move up the body. In this next move, I'd really like you to focus on keeping your ribs nice and soft. So if you imagine there's a light here at your breastbone and it's just pointing straight forward, we don't want it coming up towards the ceiling or down towards the floor. We just want it straight forward as best as we can. And we'll bring our arms into cactus arms. And we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades together only so much as we can keep the back of the arm nice and straight. So we are not reaching back with our hand, we're bringing back, keeping a nice L shape here in the arm. So if we start like this, we're gonna keep that shape, squeeze, and then come back together. If you need to take a moment, drop the arms and come back and join us when you're ready. That's absolutely fine. Let's try for 2 more. And last one. Drop the arms, shake it out if you need. Lovely. All right, feet are still pressing into the floor. So we still want to get that activation in the legs, still get that sense that the legs are part of this, because they absolutely are. And this time, again, keeping that nice soft rib cage, light shining forward, both hands come behind your head. You may interlace or just have palms touching the back of the head. Okay? And on this one, again, it's really tempting to arch back and get more of that range, but we're gonna lower, soften those ribs and work in a smaller range, twisting to the right. And then slowly coming back to the left. And we'll just move slowly side to side. Staying at the end range. If there's a little bit of a corner that you want to get into, play around with, explore. And let your arms drop down. Let's get into our flow sequence for today's seated slow flow. And we'll just start in a nice, easeful, seated mountain pose. Feet pressing into the floor, shoulders over hips. And then we're gonna raise our arms overhead, only so far, again, as we can keep that nice light shining straight forward. And then fold into a hinge. Now you can place your hands on the blocks, on your thighs, whatever feels most supportive to you. We'll start with a nice seated forward fold. And once you've started with that hinge motion and you've kind of hit the end of your hinge, feel free to now round your spine. Let it lay on your legs. Let your torso just hang on your legs or between your legs. And you can cross your arms. Let your head dangle. Arms can just come rest on the floor, hanging. You can do those little micro movements side to side, forward and back. Maybe nod your head, yes. Turn your head, no. And then we're going to come back up into that half lift, using your blocks for support as needed. And right back to that seated half split. So bringing that right leg out in front. Adjust in your chair if you need. Toes pointed up. And then play with this. How does it feel to sit more upright? How does it feel to come down more towards the blocks? pointing, flexing, rotating the leg. Ooh, I feel it there for me. Okay. Experiment. Move in whatever way calls to you. And then we're going to come back up, drag the right foot back, left foot's turn. Bringing it forward, maybe starting in a more upright position. Maybe coming down deeper. And I'll give you a few moments here to play. Maybe point and flex, rotate out and in. What does your body need in this moment? Coming back up, dragging that left foot, hinging all the way back up, reaching and coming down. We're going to repeat that so you get a sense of each of the pieces of the slow flow. So we'll move slightly quicker than we did the first time, but still slow. Here we go. Mountain pose, arms overhead. Fold. Coming upright, left leg this time comes forward. Switching sides, dragging that left heel, bring the right heel forward. Folding over that right leg. And as you drag the right foot in, hinging up at the hips, reaching overhead, arms come down by your sides. Very nice. All right, so we're going to go into another hip hinge. So we're going to come forward. And then hinge back up, really focusing on pushing the feet into the floor. Excellent. We'll do that again. Pushing feet into floor, hinging forward. You should really feel that back body. Say hello. And then again, press through the floor, hinging at your hips, keeping the rest of your spine nice and straight. Coming back up. So you might notice as you're coming up, you feel a little bit of that heel drag with the bum squeeze that we did earlier. See if you can notice that. So again, push the floor away with your feet. Hinging forward. Lovely. And then pressing again, dragging your feet towards your chair, but not going anywhere. And come back up. You might be able to tell I feel a little bit of a shake in my legs in this one. So this is very excellent for those of us who use a wheelchair and sit for most of our day. And we need a little bit of that leg strengthening if that is available to us, especially those of us who may stand for transfers or be ambulatory wheelchair users. Let's do that a couple more times. Pressing down, hinging forward. And then coming back up nice and firm and strong. My heart rate's getting up with this. Let's do one more. Coming down. and back up. Here we go. Lovely. Let's get back into that juicy, slow flow. Mountain pose, arms overhead. Fold. Okay, halfway lift. Right heel comes forward, pressing that right heel into the floor. Lowering back down, dragging the right heel back. Left heel comes forward. Come up to a halfway lift. Coming back down, left heel drags back. And then hinge up. And arms down by your sides. Let's do that again. Arms overhead. Folding forward into a lovely hinge. Left foot comes forward first this time. Dragging it back to the right. Right foot. Dragging right foot back. And then we're again pushing those feet deep into the floor and hinging up, arms down by your side. Very nice. For the next series, you can choose either to take warrior two legs on the chair with me, or you can alternate legs and do that half seated splits. Again, where your front leg is the leg that is straight in front of you. It's really up to you on how you want to do this and what your mobility needs are. All right, so let's come in to warrior two. I'll start on my right side, coming to the edge of my chair, pressing my front leg, my front foot firmly into the floor. Left leg extends back, shoulders over hips. And I'm going to start by getting kind of this nice warrior one position. And once I feel grounded there, I'm going to rotate my heel back. So straightening through this back leg to get into my warrior two. If you're used to doing chair yoga and transitioning into warrior two straight from an easy seat, you're welcome to do that as well. Arms are going to come up and be parallel to the floor. And then rotate your palms towards the sky. And just like we did with those cactus arms, see what it feels like to squeeze the shoulder blades and release. Squeeze and release. One more time. Excellent. We're going to go to the other side. I typically switch sides on the chair, going through kind of this goddess-esque pose, legs wide, and then I just, again, switch it back. If you're uncertain, always starting in that warrior one is quite helpful. And then just adjusting the back leg to get a sense of those warrior two legs. Again, arms reaching either side, palms up, and squeeze. So thumbs are going towards the back wall. And thinking about pressing firmly into that front leg if it's available to you. Okay. If you're here, stay here. I'm just going to demonstrate what it looks like for those who decided to stay with the half splits position. So if I were doing half splits, my left leg would be forward. I'd still be having these lovely warrior two arms, palms up, squeezing. Lovely. And then your transition would look like this. Okay. You choose. All right, we're gonna come back out from that warrior two position. Let the arms fall if you haven't already. And then we're going to come back into that easy seat and go right back into that lovely slow flow. Arms up overhead, hinging forward, lifting right heel forward, dragging that heel back. Left heel forward. Dragging it back. Pressing firmly through your feet as you hinge your hips up. Arms come down onto the other side. Arms overhead. Exhale. Forward fold. Inhale, lift, create space to bring that left foot forward. Dragging your heel back, bringing the right foot forward. Dragging that heel back again and pressing, hinging. Lovely. So let's go into another hinge. So coming forward, pressing firmly into the floor, and then let's go straight to that warrior two. So if you're seated, doing half splits, this is where you're going to start. If you're doing the warrior two legs, this is where we're going to start. If it's available to you, always pressing both feet into the floor, nice and firm. Bring your arms back. I'm gonna bend this arm because I've got a longer wingspan than I expected, and I'm hitting the curtain. So if that's you, and you don't have this much space, you can lightly bend your arms. It'll do the same thing. Great, okay, drop the arms, switching sides. So if you are in the half splits, this is where you're gonna end up. If you're coming into warrior two, lovely, and let's squeeze. Excellent. Adding on, we're going to do a side angle pose. So if you are in the warrior two legs, we're just gonna rest our right forearm on our right thigh. Again, pressing your foot into the floor, pressing your forearm into the thigh. And you can either keep your hand at your hip, or if it feels nice, bringing it up overhead, maybe getting a reach. Micro movements if you'd like. Now stay here if this is where you're at. If you're here in this leg position, we're gonna bring our right arm to our chair and then get a lovely side bend. And if it's available to you, you're still pressing firmly through the right heel and the left foot. Okay. So whichever way you chose, we're going to come back to the other side. So what that looks like if I chose a half splits is left foot comes out, left arm is supported on the chair or the thigh, and then reaching. If you're doing warrior two legs, you've transitioned over to that warrior two, and you've come over to the side, trying to create some space throughout the ribs. That's why we're actively pressing thigh into forearm. We're not slumping down. We've got a sense of lift in the body. Okay. So we're going to try this again. Coming to the middle. We'll do a round with the half splits leg. So left leg is going to come forward. And we're reaching right arm overhead. If you liked warrior two arms, then hang out in warrior two, or warrior two arms, warrior two legs. Go ahead and do that on the left side. And then switching sides. If we're in the half split variation. Right hand is on the chair, left hand is reaching. We're going to go between sides one more time. This time I'll show the warrior two leg variation. You get to choose your own adventure. So if you want to stay with half split legs, you do that. Okay? So starting on the left, warrior two, creating space, creating reach. And then switching sides, a nice wide leg switch around here, make it easy, nice smooth transitions, thigh to forearm, reach. And then we're going to come out of that, back into our nice, lovely, yummy, slow flow. Arms overhead, fold. Right leg forward. Dragging the heel back. Left leg forward. Drag that heel back. Feet pressing, lift. Let's do that one more time. Inhale overhead. Exhale, fold. Left leg. Right leg. And hinging up, reaching. Lovely. Last bit, we're going to add to our sequence. We're going to take a block, hold it between our palms, and then bring the shoulders back and relax. So from the side, it looks like this. Pressing the block in, using just the palms of your hands. Shoulders come back and relax. Lovely. So let's go through that whole sequence, starting from a hip hinge, hinging forward, pressing firmly through the feet to rise, coming into a half split or warrior two legs, arms reach, palms up, press those feet into the floor, squeeze. Lovely. And then side angle, really thinking about pushing down with the forearm, pushing the floor away with the foot. Arm can be straight or reaching overhead or down at your hip. Your choice. Lovely. Coming back up, bringing legs hip width apart in front, grabbing our block between the palms, squeeze. And we can never get enough hip hinges. So hinge to put your block down and then press through both legs to come back up. Lovely. Switching sides. So again, either going for that half splits pose with the legs or turning into that warrior two leg. Everybody's arms come up, reaching out, palms up, and we're gonna squeeze. Really working the back body in this practice. Coming into that side angle pose. So pressing firmly through the foot, forearm makes contact with the thigh, reaching right arm overhead. And for those of us who use wheelchairs, we work quite a bit of our front body as we're self-propelling our chair. And so it's really nice to even things out a bit in the back body. I noticed that my left hand was fisted. So take a scan, notice if you're holding tension anywhere, and let it just drift out of your fingertips. Lovely. Coming back to center. Let's do another hinge. Hinge forward to grab your yoga block. And then hinge back up, pushing feet into floor. Last set of these. We've got two actions here. Palms pushing towards each other. And then shoulders coming back. I don't know about you, but my heart rate is up there. We can absolutely work our cardiovascular system while seated. Okay, let's hinge forward, placing the block down, pressing firmly through your feet. Ah, my legs are feeling it. Ah. Let's do one more round of that yummy slow flow. And I'm gonna give very little cueing here so you can go at your own pace. And we'll work through it like we have been, where we do it once with the right foot starting and once with the left foot starting. Here we go. All right, one more time on the left side, starting with mountain pose. As you finish up your slow flow, let's all come back together in a nice, easy, relaxed seat. If your heart is racing like mine is, maybe place a hand on your heart. Steadying the breath. With all the amazing work that you just did. Strengthening your back body. All right, let's fold forward one more time. This is a really easy, nice, delicious crawl forward. Letting your head hang, letting your arms hang, or if you like, allowing your arms to be supported on the blocks. And you might even consider widening your legs so that your belly can just fall through and be nice and free and luscious. We don't have to suck it in and have it be all rock hard and firm. Let the belly soften. Let yourself have that nice big baby belly here. Take any micro movements that you might need. If you'd like, consider walking your hands out, more of a down dog. So with this, we're firmly pressing into the top of the blocks and almost doing kind of a mini turn. We're gonna unscrew the blocks from the floor, but we're not actually moving the blocks, right? So it's just kind of the sense of kind of ripping the blocks apart or open and pressing down. Still pressing down through the feet if that's available to you. And then just letting your back, your arms hang or be supported fully by the blocks here. And then since we're kind of in an inversion here where our head is hanging at heart height or a little bit lower, we want to very slowly roll back up. Do not rush this. Take your time, use the blocks for support. If you start to feel dizzy at any point, just stop there. Let the dizziness pass till you feel really safe in coming back up. Lovely. We're going to keep that wide leg stance here. And we're going to come back down to our blocks. And this time, we're just going to do some shoulder rolls. So I'm letting my shoulders come forward, kind of in that way that every person tells you never to do, but bringing your shoulders towards your ears. It's okay sometimes. But then bringing them down the back and together, kind of pushing up and out. So we're dropping into the shoulders, and then we're circling them back to push up and out. Nice and slow and controlled. If there are any places that feel like, ooh, yeah, I could hang out here for a sec, you do that. And then we're going to switch the rotation. So just reverse that. So now we're going to, our shoulders are kind of down and back as we slump into them. And then we're going to roll them forward towards our ear and push up. And then slump into them. Roll forward and up. And this is really hard for me to do without like bending my elbows. So just do your best. It's a lot of brain work, especially for those of us with tone. Sometimes our messages to our muscles get very mixed up. That's all right. And then just take anything else you need here. Notice in this position if you're gripping through the toes, like I can feel, especially my left side where I have a lot of tone is kind of gripping in. That happens when our brains are focused on other parts of the body and our tone starts to kick in. So see, depending on how intense your tone is, if you can just notice it and work that tone out. Breathing deeply. Squeezing the foot fully and then trying to relax it. And then again, gently coming up. Taking any micro movements that you need. At this point, we're going to come into Shavasana. You can lie on your mat if you like, or if you don't want to get on the floor, I like to bring my blocks under my feet and sit all the way back in my chair so I can be fully supported. So take a minute here to set yourself up. If you find that your legs kind of fall open and that's uncomfortable for you, then you can always like wrap a blanket around your legs or use a strap to keep them together. But if it's comfortable for you to like let them spread, then that's totally up to you. There's no wrong in doing that. Just find comfort. So take a moment just to notice your breathing. Is it fast? Is it slowing down? How about your heart rate? And again, if it feels safe and comfortable for you to do so, gently close your eyes or softly gaze ahead. Maybe bringing hand to heart and just noticing. Noticing the rhythm with which you can feel your heartbeat. Or maybe noticing the rise and fall of your chest as you inhale and exhale. Take a moment to send loving kindness to anywhere in your body or your spirit that needs some loving kindness today. Whenever you're ready, wiggle your fingers and your toes. Make any micro movements that you need to make to gently come back into this shared space. And on your way back into this world, maybe share some of that loving kindness with a place in the world that needs it. And whenever you're ready, gently open your eyes. Focus your gaze. Again, moving in ways that bring you back into this space that is shared. Shared virtually together in this moment, and shared with the world around us, with our families, our communities, cities, countries, the globe. in this space together. Thank you for taking the time to join me in this seated slow flow practice. I look forward to seeing you again soon.